Am I good? Am I back? All right, can everybody
I
hear
think we're
me?
good. I think we're back. Yes, sir.
All right, we're back. Okay, hang on. We're going to try it one more time. We're going to roll this back one more time. Welcome, everybody, to the MRC. It's going to be a wonderful day. We got 6 teams left here in the final day. We got 2 different streams for y'all. Obviously, here, the Major Rematch Championship channel. The other one is twitch.tv/playmrc. On that channel should be Overdose and the Lockdown. On this one, we've got SPK and Str1ve. My name is Taquito. I'm excited as heck to be here, and alongside me is none other than Hunted. How we doing, brother?
Yeah, doing great. Doing great. Really looking forward to getting our matches started on the day. We've got SPK and Str1ve to kick us off, but I mean that's just going to be the tip of the iceberg, right? This is win or go home territory for every team. There's no second chances. And this is going to be some fantastic rematch. I have a feeling. I mean, we had a great day yesterday. Don't get me wrong, but I think we can do even better today. Best of 7s all the way through. We're going to crown a champion by the end of the night as well. It's just going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be a lot of fun. These 2 teams as well, incredible teams to watch. We saw Str1ve have to come from the lower side of the bracket and SPK fall in a
Yeah.
massive upset by Astra on our first match of the day yesterday. So this one's got some implications to it. So I'm pretty I wouldn't say concerned, but I'm really impressed to see with what's going on here in this specific matchup. Kind of moving from yesterday into today. We got to see SPK. I think you had ended up leaving before Str1ve got to play on the broadcast. What are your thoughts moving into this one?
Yeah, actually, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see either of the 2 teams personally. I mean, I was able to catch them, off and on the stream. But I obviously have enough experience with both clubs from our previous events and things like that. And yeah, I mean, this is going to be a tough battle. I think it's going to be very similar. You talk about SPK having struggles yesterday, getting upset. Overdose had struggles yesterday as well. And it's, those are 2 teams that we weren't expecting to see in this first series in the, sort of the it's not really quarterfinals, but essentially the quarterfinals leading into the semis. You wouldn't expecting to see SPK here. Same with Overdose on the other side, and that just kind of goes to show that it's anybody's game on the day. And again, since we're playing best of 7s, it's really going to shake out which of these teams is here to play, which of them is the best team on the day. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how Str1ve come out of the gate against SPK. If they can steal game 1, I'm going to be bullish on them. If they let SPK get out and do their thing, work their game plan, it's going to be a long day for them.
It is going to be a very long day, and I couldn't actually parrot that point more. But this one's hard because Str1ve made very quick work of their opponent yesterday in their game. Fate was absolutely locked in on striking, and a lot of things up top between Thug and Psycho working together. It's going to be tough for SPK, but Leroy tried to kick us off with the players over there, and I believe it's the black and gray jerseys, Str1ve, and the all white on your screen. Mav, big time save.
And it is one thing to point out is Fate was looking for a banger in the box there. This is really the first game for Str1ve where they're playing up against one of the top teams in the region, right? They kind of had a little bit easier day yesterday, all things considered, as far as like the ranking of their opponents, because SPK, did have to play Velade, and they ended up dropping that series. So, SPK's got a little bit of that under their belt already, and they're going to get the first on the board. It's Leroy who finds the back of the net, and SPK out to a hot start.
Yes, this is going to be good for SPK, man. This is exactly what you want to see. I mean, they are a team that not only won the seeding tournament, they won the opening qualifier, followed by Overdose winning the other 2 qualifiers. So Str1ve's got a lot of work ahead of them. I mean, Str1ve was a team that also, like, they also played pretty well. I believe they were in the top 8 teams pretty regularly. I think there were 2 out of 3 qualifiers. They were top 8. Good block by Yellow in the box right there. Leroy back to Verk will reset SPK for the time being, but like you said, man, it's a tough mountain to climb here.
And of course, Str1ve, certainly a team that deserves to be here in this moment, playing in the top 6. As you mentioned, they had a pretty good day yesterday. Didn't drop a game on their way here. That's a nice chip over the top, but good defensive play. I believe that was Mystics able to help out Verk and SPK keep that one from going over the line. So 1-0. Nearly 2 minutes gone in game 1. This is going to be Juice out towards Leroy. It's chopped down there in front by Psycho. He's got JJ there with him. Now going to send a Thug. Fate looking for some kind of redirect, and it won't quite get through. Back and forth action we go. Still 1-goal game, but for Str1ve, it's tough playing from behind early on, especially against a team like SPK.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough playing from behind, but at the same time, I think Str1ve is a team that really should be able to hold their own. No way, that was in, Mav. You just had to make an easy job hard that way. Saved at the goal line. Okay, that's so funny. We had the goal transition and it didn't go in. poor freaking production. You know what? I'm glad that they're locked in entirely on this match. We almost saw it squeak by, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. Looks like SPK, they want it back, but not if Psycho has to say something about it. Stab on Leroy, gets the ball to Mav safely.
And it's halftime now, game 1. Still 1-0 score. It was nearly 2-0 for SPK. They're able to pull it away from the goal line, and now the attack begins. Psycho down low to Thug. He's going to chip it up, looking for Fate. That will come all the way back to Psycho. Str1ve still looking to pull apart the defense where they can. It's a loaded box for SPK. They've got 3 members waiting to play in. There's JJ. It will bounce off of Juice Yamal and out towards Leroy. Leroy will be the first there, but he can't quite find the recovery. Good play from JJ to get the ball back for his squad. Here's Psycho again. Going to look for Fate in front of the net. That one's rejected by the trio of defenders once more. Now back towards Mav, ranging forward. Looking to be that extra player in the bunch. JJ now to Fate. Fate fires and scores. There it is for Str1ve. And it's a 1-1 game with 2:05 left to go.
Hey, listen, man. Fate was elite yesterday. That's why I'm trying to tell you, like, this is a striker you want to you know, if you're in defense, you want to protect against at all costs. Like, absolute elite striking from Fate for Str1ve yesterday. So at least tying it up here means it puts a little bit more pressure on SPK than they were already feeling. Especially 2 minutes left. Leroy goes, and I mean we've got a diving keeper, just really hot on the pursuit of the catch, and no gloves on that one.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it's aggressive keeping from Mav. Reads the play pretty well, but just the dive forward a bit too early, not able to track the ball there. And that's going to be a tough one to swallow now for Str1ve. They just get that goal back after some good hard work. They're going to have to do it again. Good block there from Mystics on Fate. Fate going to win the challenge, though, but Verk able to help cover up for the squad. Now we're approaching the final 90 seconds of game 1. Good block there from Fate. Can he get back to it? Not quite. The side tackle just a bit too late. So SPK will march down the field yet again. No pressure from them here. They don't need another one, but they'll get it anyway. It's the hat trick for Leroy, and that very well may be the end of game 1.
That's tough, man. I don't want to say that it might be the end too early, because we could see a very quick transition here from Str1ve, and opportunity off the kickoff might find themselves a chance at a goal, and it's going to be very important, but they're going to have to move with gusto. They're going to have to move with some fervor. Less than 70 seconds now here on the clock. They're going to need to do something. There's Fate. There's a pop corner, baby. 1-2. Down by 1 still, but 66 seconds left on the clock, and Str1ve are still trying to prove they got legs.
It's a duel between Leroy and Fate right now, as Fate finds his second of the game. 1:06 left to go. Still plenty of time for Str1ve to find that equalizer. Need to be careful that they don't give up another goal, and they don't waste too much time here trying to find possession. There's a good challenge from Fate. Has a lot of room to work. Verk is going to play back, but a great recovery there from Yellow. Able to find that stab from behind, and it will be SPK's ball with 40 seconds left to go. Str1ve need to put the pressure on. You can see them trying to force out some kind of controlling touch. Leroy's out in front, and that's going to be a good play defensively from Psycho. So here we go. Str1ve with one more opportunity, 30 seconds left. Game number one. Can they equalize? It's going to be Fate again. That time blocked down by the duo of the SPK defense. Psycho needs to be careful. He is able to get the ball over to Thug. What is the play call here? Thug looking for JJ. Saved on the goal line by Verk. Mystic gets the rebound, trying to buy enough time, and he will. That's going to be it for game one. A huge save by Verk, and SPK walk away with a victory.
Yeah, that was a massive defensive deflect by Verk. Very clutch save in the last few seconds for SPK, and Verk's going to be breathing a little bit easier after that one. It's a little harrowing, but down to the final seconds, only a one-goal game in game number one is kind of what we want to focus on here, Mr. Hunted. That looked really good for SPK when they went up by 2. Leroy elite on the striking, but that last minute looked really, really good from Str1ve.
Yeah, it feels like you give them another possession there, and they might just equalize the game, but they just kind of ran out of time, unfortunately. And it's kind of what we expect, right? I mean, if anybody thought that this game was going to be one-sided, I think you were sorely mistaken. And hopefully that game one proved it. It is still going to be a tough battle for Str1ve. Like I said, I don't think you can give SPK too much room to run and hope that you can overcome and be the victor when things are said and done. I think the big point is you got to make sure you don't allow those early goals. We saw that one from Leroy, not even a minute into game number one. If you're Str1ve, you're definitely looking for it from your striker instead. It's a good block there by the SPK defense. Thug wanted a bid. That instead gets shut down. Again, they will find possession, though, so Str1ve on an extended offensive.
And Mav, a chance to at least find JJ, Thug, and Fate in the box near the dot. There's the break off the wall. Thug will try to find some feet on that one, but through traffic, Mystics is able to pick it up. Good block in the box. Juice Jamal, a chance, has Yellow on a good cross. Leroy waiting at the top of the dot. Patiently, there's the cut. There's the shot! And it's none other than Leroy Jenkins.
And again, I mean, you just give this guy a little bit of space, and you know every shot is going to be lethal. He doesn't miss his mark too often, and just slots that in bottom left corner. Tough one there for Mav, who's been struggling a little bit in this game. I think if you're Str1ve, you kind of want to lean on Mav a little bit to steal a couple for you, and just hasn't been able to find those saves as of yet. It's a very tough position, don't get me wrong. But Str1ve need everything they can to try to overcome SPK here. They're looking for Thug in the box this time. Instead, it is blocked down. Psycho is back to it. And again, this defensive setup, I think we're going to see that pretty much all day long from SPK, as that was a look for Fate. Not going to quite reach him in time. Here's JJ and Psycho. And, you know, it is worth mentioning, as Thug, again, has that one blocked down, with the rule in place in NA, it is slightly risky to run that 3-man box, because if your fourth man kind of floats down a little bit too far, it can be, one of those violations.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think SPK is well versed enough in this defensive style that we're probably not going to see that.
No, I don't think we'll see anything like that happen. But right now, we've got to see Str1ve pick it up a little more. Big kick back all the way. Verk picks it up. Yellow playing the anchor role for the time being, so Verk can try to quarterback a play. Off the wall, Mystics is able to find. Thug dives, unfortunately misses. Juice is going to run this one home. Try to. There's the rainbow. Can't find the extra touch. I thought he was going to be able to put some nasty moves. There's a shot! And somehow off the post, Mav is able to save.
That was just such a chaotic play out in front. Great moves by the SPK attack, making something out of nothing there, nearly finding a bit of insurance, but ultimately it's Mav with the save. Now Str1ve on the other end, looking for something here. That was a ball down into Fate. It's going to be turned around again, but JJ comes up with it. Now Psycho to Fate. Once more, the ball's still there. And Burke will be able to dive out and make the grab. 3 minutes gone in game two. A 1-goal lead for SPK holds for now. Can they make it 2? No, Psycho will turn it around. Here's a 2-on-1 opportunity. Thug and Fate. Only Yellow's back. Fate's looking for the play, but Yellow gets ahead on it. And that might have been the best chance Str1ve has had up to this point. And they can't get the shot on goal. That's a tough one for them.
Yeah, it is pretty tough, but at the same time, I think what we are seeing is Str1ve, or not, I guess I want to focus on Str1ve. Their offense has not exactly found the mark they're looking for, and Leroy is just deadly in the goalie box. 2 now for this elite striker of SPK.
As you can see, it's such a different defensive style from Str1ve, right? They don't load the box up. They kind of play that man-on-man defensive game, and when you give Leroy so much time and space, right, even if you're shadowing him entirely with Psycho the entire time, you just know Leroy's going to be creative enough to give himself some shooting lanes. That's exactly what he does. Nice play from Fate. That's a wide open goal, and that's a beauty to put Str1ve on the board. Exactly what they needed, clawing themselves back within 1 with just over 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's at least like kind of the main marker for me right now with Str1ve. If they play down, they are able to play underneath that pressure pretty well. And they are able to make things happen. Thug back to Psycho, back to Mav. They get a free reset off that interaction. So a chance to get their offense going here in the final 2 minutes, but they still need quite a bit. Oh my, I genuinely thought Fate had that Verk. Another excellent deflection off the side.
I don't know if that was an intentionally wide shot there from Fate 2 to try to bait out Verk, but Verk able to get a piece of it. It does shut down that play for Str1ve, so now SPK in control as we approach the final 80 seconds of game number 2. Verk down to Mystics. There's Leroy right out in front. He scores another hat trick for Leroy, and another tough goal to give up in these dying moments here as SPK regain that 2-goal lead.
Leroy has just been deadly, brother. It's just what it is. He is on a team that was ranked, believe, number 2 overall moving into this final day, and losing the way they did in a stunning Game 7 fashion yesterday was pretty unexpected, I think, from all of us here at the broadcast. So seeing Astra kind of being in their position and not in the game currently has been interesting to say the least. But we're moving into the final 50 seconds. SPK in possession. They need not give this one up. Fate tries to block. Mystics can melt plenty of time off the clock here with just playing possession. Cross on the field. There's Leroy looking for a 4th, but will be denied. Str1ve have to score now. Like, they genuinely need a goal right this second.
And they've only got 30 seconds. They need 2. Psycho's going to play it down. Thug's there, looking for Fate. It ends up on JJ, but couldn't get the shot away. Still, JJ's there. Will try to get that one through again. It's off a body in front. And time is ticking off. Can Fate put another one in? No, it's going to be shut down by the SPK defense, and that will certainly be it for game 2. SPK take an early 2-0 lead in the series. And for Str1ve, it's been a combined 3 goals within those 2 games, and just not quite enough when Leroy's got hat tricks in both of them. It's got, again, just one of those games where you can have good offensive production if you're Str1ve, but you know you're going to get it back in probably even worse when it comes to Leroy. So, yeah, I don't know. This is, again, a really tough position to be in. You know SPK is a good team, and now you're down 2 games. You got to win 4 of the next 6 if you want to move on. It's not going to be easy to do that here.
Not at all, especially in a best of 7, very long series. You get a chance to kind of breathe for this moment after game number 2, but it makes that game 3 even harder to approach. Str1ve, you want to stay in this series or you want to make it feel even closer than it already is. This is a must-win game. Looks like I was unable to make it into the lobby. Son of a gun. Like
I don't know if anybody here. I can stream it for you. Give me just a second. We can make sure we get this on your screen. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. Again, I'm hoping that SPK doesn't just have the momentum to run away with this series, right? Str1ve is such a good team. They have so many talented players. They just need to put it together. They need to stop Leroy, and it's not going to happen here. 10 seconds in, first possession for SPK, first shot for Leroy, and first goal in game 3.
yeah, it just is what it is, man. Like right now it's Leroy leading the charge. Like there's nothing we can do about any of this. Let me see. Okay, yeah, we I was making sure that we're all caught up on everything. I'm kind of watching broadcast and making sure we're all good here, but like it is Str1ve need a lot of work on their offensive side. Like they need a lot of their finishing touches to come through. And not to say that Fate doesn't have it in them, but it's looking really rough at this point. And Psycho has decided to play anchor while Mav is pushed up pretty far off the wall. Fate can't be there. JJ, right side wing. Opportunity goes for a big cross over to Thug. That attack, well, maybe I spoke too soon. They get it right back.
Fate?
Crossover.
Oh, what a
Fate goes.
save.
Verks is a great defensive block yet again. This just kind of looks like his main characteristic. He may not get the gloves, but that ball's not going in.
Yeah, I mean, it's been save after save from Verk, some clutch ones. Especially, we remember that save he had at the end of game 1 that put them over the top. Fate hits the post. And that was such a good look, a nice little setup play there. But unfortunately, the ball posted out for Fate. And SPK looking for some insurance. Good block there from JJ. Now you can see the adjustment from the Str1ve defense. Trying to double up on Leroy in the box instead of trying to play that man. We'll see if that has an effect in this series as Thug is trying to play it down. Leroy with the recovery, and it will be SPK's ball. 2 minutes gone. Game 3, a 1-0 lead for SPK, trying to put this series in a stranglehold. That's a good block there from Psycho. And they will get the ball back. So it's worked so far. We've seen 2 possessions of SPK, 2-man on the defense, and they've been able to cover up both times. But is it too little too late as SPK still has this 1-goal lead?
It might. No, I don't think it's too little too late. But again, we're in game 3, and yet we have not seen Str1ve. I mean, they haven't had a lot of good offense, right? Like I know I'm harping on it, and I wish I wouldn't, but they just don't have the same efficacy that we're seeing from Leroy. And that's not to say that Fate wasn't incredible. Like I said yesterday, the performance from Str1ve was absolutely insane, but they just can't stop the spear head of the offense of SPK. Leroy seems unbeatable at the moment.
And another just beautiful shot. I mean, he just picks his mark perfectly. And I think if you're Str1ve, that's a save that you want out of Mav right there. He's in good position. I know it's a tough read. You're never quite sure where Leroy's going with the ball. But I think one of the big difference makers in this series up to this point is Verk has gotten his hands on some really tough shots and have made some big saves. And we just haven't seen that from Mav up to this point.
No, we haven't. And I mean, also, just the defenders in the box themselves have not been able to block out any of the strikes from Leroy. And it goes without saying. Like, this is just how it... I thought we were about to see another one bottom corner. That was excellent placement, but good on Mav to be aware of where it was going.
2-goal lead still for SPK as Mav scans the defense looking for any holes. Again, 3 in the box. Fate makes a nice move, but Verk able to make a better save. And it is going to send Leroy on a little bit of a run. Mystic there to support. Good challenge from Psycho. And Str1ve will counterattack with Thug down the wing. Fate in a one-on-one with Yellow, but the ball just a bit too far. And it'll lead to Verk, able to find the possession. 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes here in this game. SPK in no rush. They're going to play this little passing game, trying to find Leroy for a third. That's knocked down before he could get a boot on it. Still, he's able to find a bit of a recovery, but Psycho able to clean that up. 95 seconds. Str1ve still need 2.
And they've got to get it here, man. If they want to stay in this game, they need to find the counter. And right now, with the way I've seen SPK just playing possession, this could be something here. Fate has a little bit of mix-up in the box, and Thug tries to find the pass and go over, but can't. It's a quick turnover in transition. Leroy down the left wing has to beat Psycho, waiting for a teammate. It's a big crossover. Mystics on the right-hand wing. It's a back and forth. Juice Jamal looking for the pass off the back wall, but Mav will be able to save that one away. They need a goal. Str1ve need to be able to put themselves back in this specific game, and that free turnover isn't going to help anybody.
This very well may be the end of this game. If they can't get the ball back, it doesn't look like they will, as Leroy is going to be blocked there. It will be possession won by Str1ve with at least a little bit of time left. They have 30 seconds, but they still need 2. It does find its way to Thug. That ball not going to find Fate, though. And JJ will hustle over to it. 22 seconds left. A goal is required. JJ trying to bait anything out of the defense. Not going to happen. And that's going to be a 3-game lead for SPK heading into game number 4. And this series very well could be over and done with in another 6 minutes of rematch.
Yeah, that was like the last shot doesn't matter. There it's going to be SPK 3 in a row so far over Str1ve. You're going to have to give us one quick moment, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to actually just get to a fast break as we fix some things on our end between these games. So if you give us just a moment so we can quiet the mics, we'll get back with y'all in just a second. What's going on, everybody? We are back at it again. Sorry, we had to get some things swapped over. Hopefully, that helps increase a little bit of quality. Anything else that we need to worry about here at the MRC. So, we got this lobby remade for everybody else. It is currently 3-0 SPK the favor over Str1ve. I haven't checked on the other channel, so we're gonna take a peek over here and see what's happening. Oh, we're all
Well,
sharing. Never mind. It's just us.
oh well, all right. Well, yeah, I'm not sure how that other series is going. Hopefully, we can get an update from the folks behind the scenes. But ultimately, our series here, in full swing. We've got, as you mentioned, SPK up by 3 heading into Game 4. It's a tough, tough position for Str1ve to be in now as we head into that next matchup. And this is kind of what I was saying, coming into it, and whether you think it has an effect or not. SPK yesterday had a series. They played a 7-game series against Valade, and that's a pretty good warm up series to come into this larger bracket. For Str1ve, they had a couple of series and they won them pretty handedly, but it wasn't against top 6 talent like what SPK had to deal with yesterday. And I wonder if that kind of plays a little bit of a role. Obviously, these teams are most likely playing each other every day in scrims and things like that. So there's always, it's not like there's no practice happening, but it is just something to think about with SPK having that first series. Unfortunately, they weren't able to win it. That's why they're in this one right now. But they have absolutely righted the ship as far as I'm concerned. They've had a fantastic series up to this point. They've gotten the performances they need. I think that's the big critical piece, is that they've had Leroy with his fantastic striking. He's put home just about every ball he's been given so far. They've had Verk on the back end making some incredible saves, and then you rely on that defense to just find blocks when they can, and that's exactly what they've been doing. So everything that SPK has been doing has been by the book, and now it seems like it's not just going to be Str1ve trying to claw their way back. It's almost like they have to play some kind of spectacular rematch just to overcome SPK in a game or two.
Yeah, like I said, their offense has definitely not been the best, unfortunately, and maybe that's to the better of the defense on the side of SPK. Burke has been an incredible goalkeeper this entire time. Our next, I mean, I'm really curious to see what happens on this next series. On the other side, Lockdown having a chance to maybe upset a really, really, really big team. Number 1 overall, Overdose would be a really crazy result moving into the rest of this bracket, seeing as Lockdown is the only team from the LCQ here in this top 6 territory.
Yeah, that was another thing that we talked about too, right? Is that you always seem to get one of those LCQ teams that just kind of has a bit of a Cinderella run, if you want to call it that, or they just have, they're hot on the weekend and they come in and they take down some teams to make it pretty far. I would certainly love to see how that series shakes out between those two. And I know Overdose can't be happy with being in the position that they're in, right? It was a 7-game banger against Astra that they unfortunately couldn't quite pull out, but you know that they're going to use that as motivation instead of getting in their own heads. And I have a feeling we're going to see a pretty scary Overdose if they're able to work their way out of that series. It's going to be tough for the rest of the tournament to have to go up against that team. But it looks like we are ready to go here. Everybody's back in the lobby. The game has been made. We are in it now. It's Game 4. Apologies for the bit of the break, but we are back. And SPK trying to close things out quickly here against Str1ve.
They absolutely are. And obviously, one game is all they need. Series point online for SPK. They just need to be able to really squeeze this one out. Is at the end of the day, they all they need is one game. Right now, Str1ve 4 in a row to keep themselves alive, but you can only take it game by game, especially when you're this far down in a series.
Right. I was going to say it. It's only one game for SPK, but for Str1ve, it's only one game as well. This is the only game that matters right here, right now. They don't care about any future games. we got to win this one, and we're going to do everything we can to do that. So we'll see what they can muster against this staunch SPK defense. It is SPK with possession early on here as we're ticking past the first minute of game 4. Yellow going to send that hard down into Leroy. Good block from JJ, and he'll find a recovery as well. It'll go back to Mav, and we are going to continue 0-0, this time with Str1ve in the driver's seat. Here's Psycho looking for Fate. That one's knocked down, and SPK has not shaken from this 3-in-the-box method, and it has been a nightmare for Fate to find any kind of room to try to take good bids towards the net.
It's been a nightmare, and I just got a beautiful update from our one of our guys watching all the streams. Obito let me know it is currently 2-0, the better of Overdose over Lockdown, and they're playing 2:43 or 2 minutes 40 on the clock in the other game, probably less than that at this point. But I do believe, if I check my notes correctly, it is Overdose up 2-0 as well in game 3.
We go. I mean, I don't know if anybody should be surprised that SPK and Overdose having maybe a bit of a revenge tour right now on the rest of the bracket. Unfortunately, Str1ve is the victim of SPK at the moment, but they're still not out of it. There's still a tie game here in game number 4. And Str1ve looking to press their advantage. It's going to be played back. Mav taking it slow. They're going to load up the box. Here's Thug. Down to Fate. Back to Thug. Back to JJ. Now Fate, but he can't get there in time. What a fantastic little play. It's unfortunate they couldn't get the shot away. And now it's Leroy over to Mystic. Can they turn this into a possession of their own for SPK? But my goodness, what a creative little play that was from Str1ve. Now Leroy looks to put one in the back of the net. No, it will be blocked down. And maybe Str1ve taking a bit of a page. Oh, that's a huge turnover. Juice back wall score. What a mistake by the defense and SPK on the board.
Hands on my head, Hunted. Hands on my head, because what just happened? Why? Why did that happen? Str1ve thought they had a good push out, and Juice Yamal are out here. It doesn't matter. Just cook the whole defense on a beta play, man. Season 0. It still works here in the Big 26.
Just a huge turnover, unfortunately. Oh, Fate with another one. What a shot from Fate, posting in. And it's the play they just drew up earlier. This time, Fate's not going to fake the shot. He's just going to take it. And that goes post to post just about. Beauty of a bullet to the top right. And it's a 1-all game. So a great response from Str1ve after a bit of a mistake. And here we are, level at 1 with 2.5 minutes to go in game 4.
Yeah, no, this is, again, you're kind of in that position where you need to be able to get yourselves in the lead. Like, at least you're tied right now, which is a great sign for Str1ve. But pushing that advantage, it will be something to take note of. Like, you want them to be able to really, really take advantage. And JJ off the back wall play, header it in, 2-1, and Str1ve take the lead.
And they're getting everybody involved now, right? Thug to Fate. Fate intentionally off that end while in JJ able to slide that one home. Verk unable to get the gloves on it. And that is a fantastic way to earn a lead here for Str1ve. But there's still so much time left, 2 minutes, as Juice Yamal and co. get back to work. Instead, it's going to be Thug able to take that one away all the way across to JJ. Another goal here would be absolutely huge for Str1ve. The sliding tackle from Leroy will separate JJ from that play. And it is into the hand of Verk. So we are quickly approaching the end of this game. SPK need one. Bit of a change of fortune from previous, but Leroy is going to be up to the task. Not that time. It was a block down there by the defense. And Mav will work the play forward Again, I don't think Str1ve is going to feel comfortable until they can get at least one more goal on the board, but they are also more than happy to watch this time tick down. We are into the final 60 in Game 4 and a must-win game here for Str1ve. Fate with another one! And that is exactly what the doctor ordered. Give them a 2-goal lead with 59 to go.
Yeah, this is... I'm telling you, this is Fate unlocked. You know what I mean? This is a player that we saw in that whole series yesterday. I know you weren't around for it, but this is the type of striker that they were playing as the last time we saw him. Leroy is going to try to go, defended well by Psycho. It goes all the way back to Verk, which will force SPK to have to restart their offense. But Mystics wide open on the right wing. There's a pass wide. Juice Yamal defended well by Thug. Back over. Leroy will cut that one off on the left wing. Has Juice one more time. Mystics is open and available. If Yellow can actually secure the possession when they want to. Pass there off the wall in the middle. Leroy picks it up. Cheeky little pass kick. But that's not going to be good enough. And I think with as much time as left on the clock, Str1ve have easily secured themselves another game in the series.
And that's a save from Mav that they weren't getting earlier in the series. They'll even get another from Fate just to drive the point home. That's the hat trick for Fate in this one. And that will lead us to a Game 5. So Str1ve has their offense come alive in this one. Some creative striking for sure. We saw some great team play out of them. And they're breaking down that SPK defense, which was really the big key. Again, SPK was really loading up the box. They were taking everything away from Fate. But they get creative. They get people active. JJ had a goal in that game. Some, 3 assists for Thug. Fate an assist as well. And getting everybody involved on the offense really, I think, helped them open things up, which is exactly what we wanted to see.
It is exactly what we wanted to see. And then here in the end of this Game 4, as we get into game number 5, we'll see exactly what we can find moving forward. But at this moment in time, I am curious of how SPK is going to just respond. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they definitely faltered a bit in this game number 4, and they have a chance to regain themselves in game 5. But at the same time, what are we going to expect from a team that typically kind of shouldn't be in this position? I feel like this is almost a 4-0 sweep territory, or it could have been, but they fumbled pretty hard. Also, to talk about this map, by the way, Hunted, have you seen this map? This map is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. They seem to, every season, they seem to drop that one map that I really quite like, and this was the one for me from the previous season. So I do enjoy it, as Fate's got to make a beautiful play on the back wall, put another on the board for Str1ve, and you feel the momentum building. Beautifully done to get by. Verk tried to play that aggressive angle, just couldn't quite read it well enough. And, to the point of SPK and being in this position, I agree, but I also think that, we're playing a best of 7. They've earned themselves some rubber matches, right? They've earned themselves the opportunity to have a down game or two and not have it be the end of the world. And they can kind of experiment with a little bit of what they want to do against this offense now. They can experiment with their own offense a little bit if they think that they're going to start struggling with the way that Str1ve's changed the defense, as they get Juice Yamal involved, and he finds the back of the net. So everybody starting to shift their offensive attentions, getting people involved across the way. It's Juice with a beauty, and we're tied at 1.
I like that Juice is getting more involved on the offense. Obviously, not to say Fate isn't a great striker, but Juice being able to step up and be another weapon, kind of a dual threat player, is important right now. I said Fate, excuse me. Leroy is what I should have said. I'm bouncing back and forth between teams. Had to catch myself. Leroy and Juice both being able to strike for SPK make this team just that much more deadly, at least with Juice online offensively, not having to play back the way he's been.
Well, it gets creamed across the box. Juice Jamal will ultimately play it back into Mav, and it will be a reset here as Str1ve look to get that goal. They just lost back. But we are tied at 1, 4:10 to go. Thug to Fate, 2 defenders on him. It's back to Psycho. Measuring the defense, Thug to JJ. JJ off the post. Clean look for JJ behind the defense there. He just couldn't quite sneak that one through. That one is one that Verk will be thanking the post a little bit later on, especially if this game goes in favor of SPK.
Oh, Leroy, good fire from the top. Mystics will restart this one. Juice, wide cross, has yellow. Leroy waiting next to the dot, double covered. There's the pass. It's going to be wide. Mystics again, trying to find something better. They'll go for one more. Leroy is trying to race for this one, but Psycho, the better on the possession, has a chance to push. JJ is wide, and I'm about to say it's probably best maybe to use him, but Mav is running up, so Psycho will have to play anchor. And this is going to be interesting. Thug off the back wall. Fate looks for a negative angle, but Str1ve can't turn that one in just yet.
That was exactly how they scored in the last game, except it was JJ there to put it home for them. That time it was Fate, and now the counterattack is good for SPK. Leroy finds his space, and he finds his shot. Well done to put SPK in the lead, and now backs against the wall here are Str1ve. Not much time left in this game. 2:50. It's certainly enough time for a goal. But when you're on match point, game 5, need a victory here. It's going to feel like the weight of the tournament's on your shoulders, and that's a wonderful save from Verk.
Much needed too for SPK. This game is by no means in their, it's not in their corner just yet. The series is still in their favor for sure, but this game is definitely well within reach by Str1ve, and they better not let up. That's the biggest part where I'm kind of watching what happens. And Leroy, I thought you were going to do another sneaky one there, but able to keep it out is the keeper Mav. Pass up, Thug has Fate, blocked well by Verk, and man, oh man, we're firing hot on this one.
You can see Str1ve really wants to get Fate in that odd man situation, or just a one-on-one with a defender, as he's just constantly had 2 or 3 defenders in his face trying to take shots. So anytime that Fate has that numbers advantage up towards the top, they're going to be sending it to him as Thug going to look for Fate. There's that defense I was talking about. Everybody converging on Fate, can't quite get the shot away. And now JJ's got to hustle to this one. He misses the slide tackle, and that gives Yellow the possession. Here comes Juice Jamal. He's got Leroy there. Going to look for him. And Leroy in the back of the net again. Another transition play from SPK. And is it 2 goals too many for Str1ve here in Game 5?
I don't know if I think it will be. They're definitely looking really good, but Str1ve unfortunately have not been able to capitalize on the opportunities. That big missed goal by Fate almost finds it just a little bit over Verk, but Verk decides to say, no, man, I can just stand here and catch it. Is able to block that one away. If we see at least 20 more seconds melt off the clock, I think that will be all said and done, or even a goal. There's juice to Leroy. JJ picks it up. If they can turn this around quickly, we will find at least an opportunity for Str1ve to turn it around, but they lose possession, and it's getting ever so crucial for them to find the ball back here in these waning moments.
Yeah, they need something, and they need it right now. 35 seconds left. Good play from Mav. Able to steal that one away from Leroy. Got to be careful on the pass. Psycho does get a boot on it. It's over to JJ. Final 30 seconds. They have to score now. It's a cross, but Thug can't get a play on it, and that my friends, may just be it for this one. Verk will waste even more time. Over to yellow. The players begin leaving the lobby, and that is going to do it for this one. Back of the net for Juicy Mall as well. A 4-1 final score in this series. SPK, they rocketed themselves out to this lead in the series. It finally felt like Str1ve found an answer to the defense. They got their footing on offense, and it was just a bit too little too late. They were too many games down, not enough opportunities to get back in the series, and that will most certainly do it. Well done, and congratulations to SPK. They move on to take on Astra in that semifinal.
That is the whole time Props was calling it in chat. SPK and 5, and I can't believe they were right. That's going to be it for at least Str1ve here at our invitational tournament. SPK move on, I believe, to play Astra next. So you corrected me earlier. It was Astra versus Overdose. I thought SPK played Astra, but SPK played Volade and got swept. So they get a chance to fight against Astra, who beat the #1 overall team. So if Astra somehow beat the #1 and #2 to get to Grands, does that like make them pseudo #1?
I mean, they might. It very well may, and unfortunately for Astra, I have a strong feeling that they may have to perform their Game 7 miracle again over Overdose if they want to take home the title. Not to say